Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Thanks very much for watching. Let's see, today's date, it's Mother's Day here in the United States, May 8th of 2022. Let's see. Oh, what's new? The cell phone I recently purchased will not, I can put a, I can put a SD card in it, and the cell phone will, tell me that it's not correct. It'll format it, and then it says done formatting, but it then says it's not, not correct. And so, I used one that I had, and then I had to, I purchased a brand new one. Still the same thing happens. Oops. Man, maybe let me, I gotta get to, one of these days I'll get the camera situation correctly here. I logged in, where did I log into? I think it was Amazon, that's where I purchased it from. And I had a choice of, contacting the company, or getting a refund. I can get a refund until the 28th of this month. Here is the, the cell phone. I like it. I've talked about it. I won't go over it again. It's really ruggedly built. And ruggedly built, waterproof, dust-proof, all, you can either make, videos underneath the water with it. Anyway, I went through the procedure to, not to call, but, log in. And someone chatted with me, said that I told him what the problem was. He said he'd check. And what did I do with my Coke? No Coke. Oh no. Then he came back and he said that he didn't know the answer to the problem, but in a couple of days somebody would contact me and see if they knew the answer to the problem. And I just told him, no, I'll just go ahead and do a return to Amazon. You get a refund. Really disappointed that I should have known better, though. I always make these kind of mistakes. I don't need something that's I can go into water with it. It would be nice to have something, a cell phone that I could go out into the rain with. But it was just a mistake on my part, I think, to purchase that. I don't know what in the world, that, you know, why the SD, you know, some type of a problem that they, you know, like I said, I used one that was working fine that I took out of another cell phone and formatted it, and when it wouldn't work, and I tried everything, then I, you know, ordered in a new 128, you know, a new one, gigabyte, and it would very same thing. I really don't need, you know, I've got a Pixel 3A, I think it is. Of course, it's a lot smaller. I do want a larger cell phone. So I have a Pixel 3A. Can you see? You know, let me line them up better on the bottom. Okay. So I want a like a 6.3 inch cell phone. I'm not sure if you have any recommendations. I mean, something inexpensive. 300, 350 max. The cameras are the real, you know, and of course that's something with the, you know, the Pixel. They have a good lenses, but the software is where they do the magic. So, oh, I've been holding. I'm sorry, I've been holding these. Okay, here's the. Oh, that's why I did that. So you could see it, you know. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I changed to 2 monitors instead of, I think I might have mentioned that in the video I made yesterday or whatever. I went to 2 monitors instead of the wide monitor that I had here. And the reason was hang on a second. Be right back. I need to go get a can of Coke. That is the Avery Media webcam, by the way, USB webcam. So, anyway, with the wide, some of the camera software that I use for making these YouTube videos, it just didn't, you know, just didn't work out. So I went to 2 monitors instead of the wide monitor. So I have 2 LG monitors running. Of course, the wide monitor was a LG also. This monitor is the Brio, Logitech Brio. let's see, full. Is that the one I want to? Yes. I'm using OBS, of course, and the sources, you know, I have like the two. Well, I can just drag that over here. Let me minimize this so you won't be as confused, you know. So down here where it's Brio camera full, that's full as it tells me. Anyway, when I hit that, we get this. And then when I turn it off, you know, we have this and whatever's on the screen. Drag it back over here. I just shaved. I need to use the clippers. My hair looks... I look like an old man. I'll still look like an old man when I clip all my hair off, however. Let's go to YouTube. I've got 15 new subscribers in 28 days. That's pretty good. I don't usually get that many. Usually I get 12 or 8 or something like that in 28 days. It'll take me forever. Well, I'll be long gone. I deleted one of my oldest videos, the one on I think, was that the assassination of Kennedy? I think so. But the quality of the back then, the USB webcam, I'm not even sure. Maybe at that point the webcams were going through the RS-232 port, the parallel port. Can't remember. That's the first. And of course the first cameras were you know, not in color. Now the Kennedy video from 2005 or whatever it was, it was in color, but it was just a bad video. I mean, well, the information in there I think was very interesting. But the video was just so bad, I decided to delete it. If you're somebody who's, you know, looking at like my old videos or something, if you run across anything that's political, where there's no other useful information in there, let me know and I'll delete it. What I need to do also is go back and delete the updated information on, you know, new Windows 11 releases and all the other, you know, like if there's any Windows 10, and just keep the last video or two made on it. But I don't think there's any reason to have those others on here. I don't want to delete any video unless I know by the way, I need to go to, let's see. Here's the, was the update on the cell phone that I bought. I need to go in here and put a, I could do that now, but I'll do it some other time. I need to put in here that there was a problem with the SD card and micro SD card, and that I'm returning it to Amazon. Let's see. Yeah, I wish I had, well, I've always wished that I would just have one subject in a video that I make. Then I could actually just look at like the title or something and say, you know, I can delete that one. But I'm afraid to delete some of these because there might be 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, different things in it. And I don't want to delete something that might be useful to somebody. So I deleted, I think I deleted a couple playlists. I deleted the hospital security. Now the videos are still on my site, but there's no playlist for them, you know, that you can go to. And they never really got that much, that many views. And also, I mean, if somebody's going there to find out about hospital security, I don't want to say that there's no useful content there, but I stopped working I stopped working for in-house security. I worked at different hospitals for 30 years. I quit. Well, I ended up going to Orlando, Florida, and I did then hire in with a contract security company, and then they put me in charge of a hospital, you know, of our contract people that were out there and the whole thing. And that was horrible. Horrible. And as soon as I could, I just told them I wasn't going to work there anymore. They were very upset. They wanted me to work there. I didn't want to work there. They finally put me some other places. But anyway, so I stopped working hospital security after 30 years. And so it's been 22 years, and I'm sure things have changed, you know, a lot. I mean, not the psychological things, not the dealing with people under stress, and not that type of stuff, but I'm sure now that some of the hospitals may be using drones, you know, or they may be using some of those devices at police departments. In fact, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas, and I've seen the Fort Worth police have those things that they can, you know, tow behind a Jeep or a pickup truck or whatever, take to a shopping center or other places. It could be a schoolyard or something, you know, whatever. And, you know, you could have somebody sitting in the thing, and probably a couple people if you wanted to. Wouldn't be much point in doing that, but, you know, they will raise up, way up. And then I'm sure they have cameras up there and recording, or maybe transmitting directly back to the, you know, so they didn't have any of those things. So there's a lot of stuff like, you know, like that. And I just feel like that the information that I have in those videos about hospital security are dated. And over the years, I've I've told some of the stories. And now those stories, if somebody came in now, I think those stories would still be, you know, interesting and educational, but I don't think there's any reason to have a playlist of them, because you can just do a search for hospital security or for something like that. Let's see, there's other playlists, hardware and software, pacemaker videos. You know, the pacemaker videos don't get a lot of views, but some people, quite a few people have left a comment thanking me, because either they had a father who was having a pacemaker put in, or they were going to have a pacemaker put in, or that type of stuff. Or so they have been useful. Howard's Notebook playlist. I just think I throw everything. I don't throw everything in there, but politics. You know, I'm sorry that I have even mentioned politics, but my blogs, my videos, my WordPress sites, my all the things that I've been doing over all these years, it's always been what's going on in my life, what I'm upset about, that type of thing. And a lot of that falls into the political area. But I wish I could just not even think about, it's getting worse, you know. Well, I think it's about as bad as it can get. I really don't want to, but that's the way I've been with all the blogging and videos that I've made and everything. It's been like, what's going on? I had many years ago, there was at least 2 sites, and I'm sure there was more, that would review. You could contact them and say, hey, would you review my blog? And they would review it. And so I went to a couple different sites and said, hey, please review my blog. I think one of them you paid a small amount of money. I mean, really small amount of money. And they came and took a look at it, and then they posted on their site what they thought. And now both of these sites agreed, Jim Howard has an inability, just total, he can't get his colors right, his things don't, you know, and they're correct. I just don't have, I should not, well, I would not be a interior decorator or whatever, you know. Anyway, so the reviewers, one reviewer said all he talks about is his divorce and that or whatever, and then but of course, you know, I covered other things. The person just happened to come in, whatever, you know. Maybe that's when the wife wanted the divorce. Maybe that's when the wife got the divorce. Maybe, I don't know, you know what the. And then the other thing they said was that I discussed maybe my job or something. I can't remember, but I've had a variety of whatever's going on, you know. Now there's a playlist for storms, and I like storms, and I loved being in Miami and the hurricanes and the storms and that kind of stuff. I have a playlist set up for the Chromebook and the Chromebox. I don't post very much to it. And here's one that's fun. It only has one. I don't even know what in the heck is this. Playlist with one, and it's called Fun. Huh. I don't know, maybe I need to go back and delete that, I'm not sure. Oh, this is coming up on 25 minutes of a video, so let's see. Time to bring it to a show me video, story time. That might be interesting, because I think, you know. And then my 2 weeks in Washington, D.C. And there's only 11 videos in there. I think they're really neat. My daughter, when I was there, she, you know, she, with her Apple cell phone, as we were out, you know, looking around and stuff, took the video and some stills, and then when we got back to the place where they lived, she threw together, you know, I guess 11 videos. And I think they're just great, but well, let's see what's on the playlist here. Let's see, Jim's Vacation, Dallas National Air and Space Museum, Jim's Washington, D.C., movie trailer, Mr. Howard Goes to Washington, Jim in Washington, D.C., let's see, riding the longest escalator in the Western Hemisphere, a few views of my 3-hour walk in Washington, D.C., a patio video. I think that's in their living room, I believe. Me eating vegetarian food. By the way, I should mention, I'm not going to show you my feet. My feet and legs are in bad shape. I'm not sure what happens when it gets to my knees. But, I mean, it's really bad. And when I went to Washington, D.C. for those 2 weeks, I went out, I ate vegetarian food, their food. And we went out and walked every other day for, I think, 2.5 hours or something like that. So all of a sudden, I didn't have a scale there. They probably had a scale, but I mean, there was no scale in the room and bathroom that they, you know, had available for me. And all of a sudden, my pants, wow. And of course, there was no scale, but then eventually I looked down and my feet had gone back to like normal feet. And so I lost weight, and my feet went back to normal. And then when I returned to Fort Worth, in a couple of weeks, my the weight was back on, and my feet were, you know, gross like they are now. That shows you diet and exercise. I can't do that exercise. I can barely stand up now. I can, you know, I could eat vegetarian food, except, you know, my ex-wife and my grown son, we're, you know, sharing the expenses on this apartment, and my son brings in candy. I mean, a lot of candy, all the time, and I'm just not able. You know, it's there. I've tried to get him to, take it to your room, But every time I go by, I eat some, and so if you're like me, vegetarian food, but it was excellent, and we went to several vegetarian restaurants, and there was one, and I couldn't believe it. We ate it there just before I left to come back, and it was a vegetarian restaurant that served only vegetarian food. And before we went there, my daughter said that their food is excellent, and I said, okay, well, at that point I said, okay, there might be a little bit of vegetarian food, but how can they have a restaurant? They wouldn't have, I went in there, and my daughter, she ordered something that she orders when her and her husband go there, always, I think. And my son-in-law, he ordered the thing that he normally ate. They had a sampler thing. I ordered that, a little bit of everything. It was all excellent. And even LaDonna, my daughter, now mentions, when she first became a vegetarian, she was trying to, convince us, and she would bring us some stuff, like vegetarian hot dogs and that kind of stuff. And I mean, it was not edible. But I guess because when you have that mindset, you convince yourself that it's, that it's good. It's not. But all the stuff that she cooked, and her and her husband, cooked together, one of them chops the stuff, one of them does this, one of them does, they got it all, worked out. And the food is excellent that they make, at home. And anyway, that restaurant that only served vegetarian food, and I got the sampler, a little bit of everything. Everything was excellent. I mean, best restaurant food I've ever had. And that shows that vegetarian food can be good. But the problem is people that I think become vegetarian sort of like a religion, And anyway, we ate at Ben's Chili Bowl, by the way. That's a famous place in Washington, D.C. Presidents always end up going there. I mean, and their food was good. I mean, they had some vegetarian food, but they had, chili dogs and stuff like that. Oh, I see. I added a couple Capitol Riot Committee holds first hearing. I'm going to delete that if I can over here. Let's see. Yes. Well, okay, I can't delete it here, but I can remove it. It doesn't really belong on. Let's see. Yeah, I can remove it from there. And I can also remove this one. It shouldn't be on there. And then hopefully I can remember to, there we go. Whoops. Okay, no, we're only 34 minutes. So, I saw the video of the guy running up there and tackling Dave Chappelle. And then there was a picture, I think the guy was in the ambulance or whatever. And it looked like he got beat up pretty good. And I'm not sure if security did that to him or whether the police, did that to him. But, the guy is, in my opinion, undoubtedly, a mental patient, or should be a mental patient. And I don't think there was any excuse for giving him a beating, which I think is what happened. And it may be too, because I think from the little video that I saw someplace, well, on CNN or someplace, or I guess maybe probably YouTube. So I think maybe some of Chappelle's handlers or the people that were performing with him that night or something, I think they went in and got some licks in, and positively no excuse for that. I'm sure that person, has mental problems, and they shouldn't be, And David Chappelle, you could kind of tell. David Chappelle was, they were over in a corner, and David Chappelle was hollering. There was a whole bunch of people around this guy, still, I think, kind of wrestling with him. I'm sure he was resisting, but even David Chappelle, was hollering over. He had the microphone, of course, hollering over to him, something about, hey, let's stop this, let's stop it. Then he was hollering, just get him out of here, get him off the stage. I think he said something like, David Chappelle, like, let's not do this on the stage, so I think he knows. Here's a helicopter crash caught on a doorbell camera. What would this be? Yolobox is a full streaming computer and more. I'm running Windows 11, by the way. Let's see what this is here.
I've talked about the Yolobox Pro before, but with recent updates, there are a lot more pros to the Yolobox Pro. Now if you are unfamiliar with the Yolobox Pro, it does have a lot of really cool features. Faux show, so let me show you those features. Basically, this one here, the Pro model, has 3 HDMI inputs, and then not only is it a switcher, but it's also an encoder, and then you can stream directly from here while adding graphics, overlays, video clips from an SD card. You can record in 1080 to the Yolobox Pro, stream in 1080. You can pop comments up on stream. You can stream to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or your own streaming server. Basically, you have a lot of flexibility, and I do have an entire in-depth review on the Yolobox Pro if you want to know more about those specific features. But what I want to talk about today is that in my previous reviews, I've focused on the mobile functionality of the Yolobox. The fact that you can take something this big and do a multi-camera live.
Okay, I'm going to put a link to this because I think you might be interested in it, and also I'll put a link to Tom Buck. He has 97,000 subscribers, and I wonder what. Wait a minute, let's see if full review. He uses chapter markers. Good for him. I don't. I should, definitely. I'm the person who really needs to use markers, so you all can find something if you're looking for it. Support the channel, music, audio gear, lights, and okay. Okay, now wait a minute. Where can you buy this? Okay, I'm going to guess that a full review is going to, well, I want to save this. Okay, I'll do this in a different, because I want to put the link to it. One input, let's see. Okay, here's the Pro. Oh, I see, B&H. B&H. that's where, okay, let's see. Open in a new tab. Oh, well, no way. That's, I mean, it might be a great idea, and I'll still put the link to his site. And yeah, that's way too much money for, what it does. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.